libertarian parts of at least my worldview represents a legitimate contribution. And localization is what's going to happen anyway. If you believe that it is our destiny to achieve a free society, either the central government's going to collapse and local governments are going to be more relevant at some point, or there's going to be a deliberate addressing of these issues and we're going to be able to dissolve central government from the top down. I'm running for president in 2020 on the platform of an orderly dissolution of the United States federal government. And realistically, I think in 2020, we can get on the map, 2 or 3%, but who knows? Every single day the government screws something else up, it makes our job that much easier. And by 2024, if I'm not a contender myself, I would hope that someone else or a bunch of other people are running on this platform and go, I'm the best person for the job. Because it's not me. I don't have the administrative experience or the bureaucratic experience to be the guy that comes up with the plan to dismantle the thing. But to plant the flag and say, we need to face up to these issues because if we don't do this in an orderly, peaceful manner, it is going to be a dangerous, violent collapse at some point. And that's not an answer. And libertarians get accused of being uncompassionate. I mean, how many of y'all been accused of that before? Oh, you want to end the welfare state? Well, screw you. And you go, wait a second, this philosophy is universal nonviolence. Universal ownership of yourself, non-slavery. How could that be uncompassionate? Well, if your answer to the welfare state is, well, we're going to end it, and then magically private institutions are just going to come up like that and fill in all the gaps there, yeah, it really is not very compassionate. And you're talking about pulling the rug out from underneath people, and a lot of libertarians, their best answers, well, then the government's just going to collapse. It's just going to fall away in stone. And yet, somewhere on the other side, things will be better. That's not a compassionate answer. That's not a realistic one either. And you're never going to get people on board with that, especially when you're arguing for pseudo-libertarian minarchism. And to me, this is the greatest threat to the cause of liberty. When you understand that liberty is a moral philosophy, that it's based on the non-aggression principle, it's based on a universal code of moral ethics. To advocate for anything less than that is to completely abandon the principle. If you're saying minarchism is the answer, we want government to do this and this and this, yeah, it's still immoral, but we will accept it as a necessary evil. Well, what you're saying is, I only want violence to be used for things that I haven't figured out how to do peacefully yet. To which any big government advocate will say, yeah, me too. And if you can get past that and provide an actual practical solution that is compassionate, that addresses all these concerns, you're going to get a lot more people on board. And localization is a chapter in the book where we talk about taking governments apart from the top down. And the power vacuum argument is a legitimate one. I resisted this for a long time. I was like, oh, that's crap. Obviously, if everybody's libertarian, there's not going to be a power vacuum. Well, that's not going to happen overnight either. And if you eliminate government, if you just have revolution, well, yeah, you might have worse governments come in. You will have instability. You will have chaos if people believe that they should still be governed. But if you localize it, you have the space for people to embrace self-government. And that's what the power vacuum is filled with. And it acknowledges the current reality that, by and large, people have at least been conditioned away from self-government, if not having it completely beaten out of them. And there needs to be a transition that is consistent with the core philosophy and principles. And waiting for the collapse ain't it. And if your answer is, well, I got my gun, and I got my bunker, and I got my MRE, y'all good luck in the cities, have fun. That's not the answer either, because the government that is violently clinging to power will not spare you when it's death throes. In fact, you're the one that is going to go after first. Oh, the guys cowering in the city, we'll protect them. You preppers? Oh, no. We have to make examples out of you. And I'm not saying don't be prepared. I mean, I believe in it. I mean, I'm driving across the country right now with a U-Haul trailer, and there are several boxes of MREs in there. There's a reason I own an SUV with off-road capability. I mean, at least I've got my escape pod if I can't be living completely independently. I think having a mind to that is very important. But you're not going to win people over with,
what's the best thing to say to somebody who's just, they love to the Democratic Party or they love the Republican Party and they're just completely blind to what's going on. What would you say is the best way to introduce them to that type of line?
Well, if you can't, some people you'll never win over with moral, philosophical, or ideological advocacy. They just don't think that way. They don't approach the world that way. And as human beings, we have to acknowledge we're all creatures of pragmatism. Morals don't mean crap if you can't feed your family, right? You're not going to win anybody over if you're saying, well, you're going to starve for a little while, hope to survive and make it to the other side with us. So this is where I think that, you know, breaking it down in the moral terms is great when you can get someone to listen to that. But this is the cool thing about localization and the policy. You don't have to win anybody over to the philosophy. Okay, so you're a liberal or a conservative or a mainstream statist. Wouldn't you rather be governed locally rather than by a central authority in some far-off capital? Wouldn't you rather your voice be more relevant? Wouldn't you rather the way that you are governed, if you accept and believe that you need to be governed, and I would argue strenuously against that no, you, as a free, beautiful, independent human being, should not be governed except by yourself. You know, but if you believe that you need to be governed, wouldn't you rather be able to set the parameters so that government locally? Wouldn't you rather be more empowered in that? And